was like it never happened.
Hello.
But Lang knew what he saw, and he knew Kersey saw him back. The three men didn't speak about their experience for years. They knew how it sounded, and they had careers to protect. In the late 1980s, William Lang went back. Not physically, not yet. He was older now, living in Australia, and the questions never stopped. He talked by phone with Michael Crowley. They went over what happened. Crowley didn't remember in as much detail, but he remembered the quiet, the lack of wires, no streetlights, and he remembered the bizarre butcher shop. Something strange happened that day. They both knew it. Lang wrote to Andrew Mackenzie. Mackenzie was a psychical researcher who spent decades looking at cases like this. Time stamps. Someone seen the past with their own eyes. Mackenzie read Lang's letter. This wasn't just another ghost story. This was something extraordinary. They corresponded for years. Mackenzie cross-referenced every detail against historical records. Lang described everything he could remember. The smell, the quiet, the watchers in the windows, the green oxen hanging in a shop that shouldn't have existed. In 1990, Mackenzie flew Lang to England, and they walked through Kersey together. The village looked normal. Tourists wandered between the old buildings, cars were parked along the road. The quiet was gone, replaced by ordinary sounds of a living community.
Thank you.
Lang found the building that was once the butcher shop. It wasn't a shop anymore, it was a private residence. He knocked on the door. An elderly woman answered. Lang asked about the history of the house, whether it was ever a butcher shop, whether she knew anything about its past. The woman told him it was a private house for as long as anyone could remember. But Mackenzie's research showed
Thank
differently.
you.
The building was built in 1350. Records showed it operated as a butcher shop for over a century. Lang's face went pale. 1350 was the year Black Death reached Kersey. The plague killed half of England. People died faster than they could be buried. Farms were abandoned. Animals were slaughtered and left to rot because there was no one left to butcher them. Entire villages were wiped out. But Mackenzie's research revealed something more specific. The cadets didn't see Kersey during the plague itself. They saw it afterward, decades afterward. The church tower construction halted in 1348. The shell of the half-built tower stood unfinished for decades. But the village buildings had glazed windows. The wool trade had returned. They were in recovery. Mackenzie concluded the cadets saw Kersey as it was around 1420, 70 years after the plague, a village that survived. But the quiet wasn't gone. The trauma of 1350 burned so deeply into Kersey that it could still be experienced 6 centuries later. The land remembered the plague, the absence of life, in a place where hundreds died in agony over a period of months. They didn't travel to a parallel universe, they traveled to a memory. The watchers in the windows weren't plague victims, they were the descendants, the survivors, living in houses where their grandparents died, walking streets where bodies were stacked into